The story takes place in the Orlan Empire, a wealthy empire where noble reputation is treated almost like currency. Public appearances, tea parties, academy events, banquets, and royal invitations can decide a family's political future. Seraphina Valen is the only daughter of Duke Valen, one of the empire's most influential nobles. In the original novel, she was proud, jealous, dramatic, and desperate for the prince's attention. After reincarnating, however, the new Seraphina is practical, lazy, self-preserving, and extremely allergic to drama. Her main strength is not beauty, magic, or swordsmanship. It is avoidance. She understands that in noble society, most disasters only happen because people insist on attending events where they know they will be insulted, challenged, manipulated, or misunderstood. So she does the one thing nobody expects. She opts out. Let's begin. When Seraphina opened her eyes, she immediately knew three things. First, the ceiling above her was extremely expensive. Second, her body was definitely not her own. And third, she had reincarnated as the Villainess of a tragic romance novel. That was bad, very bad. Because Lady Seraphina Valen was not a misunderstood villainess. She was not secretly kind. She was not framed by jealous enemies. She was, unfortunately, a terrible person. In the original story, Seraphina bullied the heroine, embarrassed the second prince, poisoned her cousin, slapped three maids, burned a love letter, ruined a ball, and eventually attempted treason. Her ending was public execution. Very dramatic. Very painful. Very avoidable. Seraphina stared at the silk canopy above her bed. Then she made the most important decision of her new life. I'm not getting involved. The maid beside her blinked. My lady. Seraphina pulled the blanket over her head. I'm retiring. She was 13. For the first week, everyone assumed she was sick. For the second week, everyone assumed she was heartbroken. By the third week, the Duke called a doctor. The doctor checked her pulse, her breathing, her eyes, and finally her mood. Then he turned to the Duke and said, "Her ladyship is perfectly healthy." And the Duke frowned. And then why won't she leave bed? Seraphina answered from beneath the blanket. Because outside is where the plot happens. No one understood. That was fine. Seraphina did. In the original novel, every disaster began because she went somewhere. The garden tea party. Bullying event. The royal banquet. Public humiliation event. The academy entrance ceremony. Rivalry event. The hunting festival. Attempted murder event. Everywhere she went, fate waited with a knife. So she stayed in bed. At first, the household panicked. Then they adapted. Lessons were moved to her bedroom. Meals were served beside her bed. Dress fittings happened while she lay down. Her father yelled at her from the doorway. Her tutors lectured from chairs. Nobles tried to visit and were told Lady Seraphina was emotionally unavailable. Which was true. She was emotionally unavailable to death flags. Years passed. While other noble girls fought for attention, Seraphina became famous for never appearing anywhere. People began inventing rumors. Some said she was sickly. Some said she was cursed. Some said she was so beautiful that appearing in public would cause wars. Seraphina encouraged that last rumor. It sounded useful. Then the first major plot event arrived. The royal garden party. In the original story, Seraphina spilled tea on the heroine and accused her of seducing the prince. This made the prince hate Seraphina forever. This also began her downfall. On the day of the party, maids entered her room carrying a pink gown. Seraphina looked at it. No. My lady, the invitation is from the queen. No. The Duke insists. No. The prince will be there. Even more no. Her father stormed in. You will attend. Seraphina sat up slowly. Father, how much will you pay me to attend? And the Duke froze. What? I am willing to risk my life for an appropriate appearance fee. You are 13. And already financially literate. The Duke stared at her. Seraphina stared back. That day, she learned something important. Noble pride was expensive. Her father paid. Seraphina attended the garden party for exactly 12 minutes. She smiled politely. She avoided tea. She avoided the prince. She avoided the heroine. Then she returned home and went back to bed. The original bullying event never happened. The heroine enjoyed the party. The prince remained neutral. And Seraphina earned 20 gold coins. A miracle. After that, she created a system. Every social event had a fee. Tea parties cost 10 gold. Banquets cost 50. Royal events cost 100. Anything involving the prince cost double. If someone wanted her to attend a dangerous plot scene, they had to pay. Her father hated it. Then he realized something strange. Whenever Seraphina did not attend events, scandals decreased. Rival families argued among themselves. The heroine made friends peacefully. The prince focused on politics. The academy became calm. The Duke's household reputation improved. Somehow, his useless daughter had become useful by doing nothing. At 16, Seraphina entered the academy. Technically, she enrolled, received her uniform, looked around, and immediately rented a private room in the infirmary. The school nurse asked, "Are you ill?" Seraphina replied, "Socially." From that day onward, she attended classes by written notes. Teachers sent assignments. Seraphina sent answers. Students gossiped. Seraphina slept. Her grades were excellent. Mostly because she had nothing else to do. Meanwhile, the prince became curious. Prince Adrian had expected Seraphina to chase him, just as all the nobles warned. But she never appeared. When he passed her in the hallway, she turned around. When he sent an invitation, she sent an invoice. When he requested a meeting, she replied, "Consultation fee, 200 gold. Romantic misunderstandings, not included." Adrian became obsessed. Not romantically. At least not at first. He simply could not understand her. Every noble girl wanted influence. Every noble family wanted power. Every student wanted attention. But Seraphina wanted pillows. One day, he cornered her outside the library. "Lady Seraphina." She looked at him with horror. Not because he was handsome. Because he was plot relevant. "Your Highness." "Why do you avoid me?" "Because I enjoy living." He frowned. "What does that mean?" "It means your presence is expensive." "I am the prince." "Exactly." Adrian stared. Then unexpectedly, he laughed. From that day on, he began paying her consultation fees. At first, he asked foolish questions. Why did she avoid people? Why did she refuse attention? Why did she look at ballroom invitations like death warrants? Seraphina answered honestly. Because most problems require attendance. Adrian began applying that advice. He stopped attending useless banquets. He stopped entertaining flatterers. He stopped responding to provocations. His political enemies panicked. Their carefully planned scandals failed because the prince simply did not show up. Adrian realized something shocking. Seraphina was not lazy. She was efficient. This misunderstanding saved her life. By 18, Seraphina had become the most mysterious woman in the empire. By 20, nobles paid for her absence. If Lady Seraphina attends, people assume something important is happening. If she does not attend, people assume the event is irrelevant. Her absence became political currency. She was invited everywhere. She went nowhere. Then came her 22nd birthday. In the original novel, this was the day of her execution. Seraphina woke up early. Not voluntarily. A fear did it. She sat in bed, waiting. No soldiers came. No chains. No angry mob. Instead, the Duke entered with trembling hands. Behind him came Prince Adrian, now Crown Prince. Seraphina narrowed her eyes. If this is a death sentence, I would like to negotiate. Adrian smiled. It is not. The Duke held out a royal document. Seraphina opened it. Then froze. By order of the Crown, Lady Seraphina Valen is hereby appointed Special Advisor for Crisis Prevention. Annual salary, absurd. Required duties, remain available for consultation. Mandatory attendance, none. Seraphina read it twice. Then a third time. You're paying me to stay home. Adrian nodded. The Empire has experienced its most peaceful decade in recent history due to your philosophy of strategic non-attendance. Seraphina slowly lowered the paper. My philosophy. Most problems require attendance. Oh, she stared at him. He smiled. The Duke wiped tears from his eyes. My daughter is a genius. Seraphina looked at the ceiling. Then at the royal salary. Then back at the ceiling. In the original story, she died at 22. In this life, she received a pension. She lay back down, pulled the blanket over herself, and smiled. For once, fate had come to her room. And it brought money, the end. Honestly, if there's one thing we can learn from Seraphina, it's that not every problem deserves your time, your energy, or your attention. The entire world expected her to fight for power, chase romance, and get involved in every bit of noble drama she could find. Instead, she asked herself a very simple question. Do I actually need to be there? Most of the time, the answer was no. And somehow, by refusing to play a game everyone else was obsessed with, she ended up winning it. Although I still think charging people to attend parties might be taking the lesson a little too far.